Aja Wilson appeared visibly upset after Nike unveiled a massive Caitlin Clark advertisement covering an entire hotel in Indianapolis. The reaction from some within the league suggests a shift in dynamics, highlighting who the new face of the WNBA might be. Wilson's response reflects the underlying tension, jealousy, and resentment that have been simmering beneath the surface. This moment could mark a major change in the league's power structure. How do you think other WNBA players will respond to Nike positioning Caitlin Clark as the new face of women's basketball? Share your predictions below.
That's going up on the JW.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it, yeah. It's pretty solid. Anytime you get on the JW in Indianapolis, like, that's a big deal.
Here we are, folks, witnessing what might be one of the most eye-opening moments in WNBA history. Nike has just launched a commercial and advertising campaign for Caitlin Clark that's so massive, so over the top, and so undeniably dominant that it covers an entire hotel in Indianapolis. The reactions from certain players, especially Aja Wilson, speak volumes about the current state of women's basketball and the shifting dynamics within the league. Let's start with what actually happened. For WNBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis, Nike went all out, and they made it unmistakably clear who they believe is the league's biggest star. This wasn't just a billboard or a standard TV commercial. Nike wrapped an entire hotel with Caitlin Clark's image and branding, 30 stories high of pure Caitlin Clark dominance, right in the heart of Indianapolis.
Starting at guard, 6 foot from West Des Moines, Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year, winner of the Stanley, Sullivan, Wade, Lieberman, Naismith, Boyden, and several other last name awards. A 2-time All-American First Team, 3-time All-Conference First Team, 3-time assist leader, 10-time won't miss leader, 2-time Tournament Most Outstanding Player, current even more outstanding player. Conference Player of the Year, Player of the Month, Player of the Week, Player every minute, owner of the conference 3-point record, free throw record, triple-double record, the Iowa State Fair shooting record, the women's all-time NCAA leading scorer, and your new all-time NCAA leading scorer, Caitlin Clark.
The commercial itself is nothing short of incredible. It features Caitlin Clark lacing up her new Kobe 5 prototype Pez, accompanied by a powerful tagline. When Caitlin Clark laces her new Kobe 5 prototype Pez, she steps into a new dimension. Noise fades away, focus hits, and all that's left is drive. Dominate. The production value is top tier, and the messaging is bold. It positions Clark exactly where Nike sees her, as the undisputed face of women's basketball. But here's where things get really interesting. The reaction from Aja Wilson and other established WNBA players has been absolutely telling. Wilson, long considered one of the league's top talents, is reportedly furious about the campaign. And honestly, can you blame her? She's been grinding in this league for years, building her legacy, only to watch a second-year player receive the kind of spotlight most veterans only dream of. The timing of this campaign couldn't be more perfect or more brutal. It lands right in the middle of All-Star Weekend, a time meant to celebrate the entire league. Yet Nike has turned it into a Caitlin Clark showcase. Anyone walking around Indianapolis this weekend will see that towering hotel ad and note exactly who the new face of women's basketball is.
If you guys haven't seen, like, it's actually just crazy. It's crazy, like 30 stories high. Like, this is absolutely mad. Like, the floor is ours, from downtown is my town. Could you imagine if she didn't get voted as an all-star?
What makes this even more devastating for players like Aja Wilson is that this isn't just about one commercial or one shoe deal. It signals a fundamental shift in how corporate America views the WNBA. For years, the league struggled to attract meaningful sponsorships or marketing attention. Players were fighting for scraps, hoping for basic recognition from major brands. Then Caitlin Clark arrived and changed everything overnight. Nike didn't just give Clark a shoe deal, they gave her Kobe Bryant's signature line. They didn't just run an ad, they took over an entire city block. This is the kind of marketing push that established WNBA players have been begging for their entire careers. And Clark received it in her second season. The Kobe connection is especially significant. When Nike gave Clark access to the Kobe line, they weren't just making a marketing move, they were making a statement about her place in basketball history. The Mamba mentality isn't just about skill, it's about transcending the sport and becoming a cultural icon. By linking Clark To that legacy, Nike essentially declared that she's already reached that level. But let's talk about the business reality. Nike didn't launch this campaign because they personally like Clark or because they want to be generous to women's basketball. They did it because she's the only player in the league who moves the needle commercially. When Clark plays, viewership soars. When she's injured, ratings drop by 50%. That's not speculation, that's measurable data. Executives used to make decisions. The limited shoe release tells another story. Only 13,000 pairs are being released, and they'll sell out in minutes. Resale predictions already estimate prices between $400 and $500 for shoes retailing at $190. No other WNBA player has ever generated this kind of demand. Wilson's frustration likely isn't just about the campaign, it's about what it represents for the league's future. If Nike is willing to pour this level of investment into Clark, what does that mean for everyone else? Are other players relegated to supporting roles in the Caitlin Clark show? The geographical significance is also key. Indianapolis isn't just any city, it's practically home turf. Clark played college ball in Iowa, right next door. This is her region, her fan base, her people. Nike essentially turned All-Star Weekend into a Clark homecoming celebration, and everyone else is just a guest. The player vote controversy adds another layer. The fact that some players ranked Clark 9th among guards shows a disconnect from reality. Here's a player who has arguably saved the league from irrelevance, and some are still pretending she's not special. But Nike isn't buying into that narrative. They see the data, the impact, and they're putting real money behind the player who actually moves markets. While some players focus on politics and personal feelings, corporations are making decisions based on cold, hard facts. The comparison to NBA-level treatment is especially painful for veterans. For years, they've lamented the lack of respect and resources. Now that those resources have arrived, they're all being funneled to one player. The social media response has been explosive. The commercial racked up hundreds of thousands of views within hours. The hotel advertisement is viral across every platform. This is the kind of organic marketing money can't buy, and it's all centered around one player. Wilson's reaction highlights a deeper issue within the WNBA, a culture more focused on equal attention than seizing opportunity. It's a participation trophy mindset in a professional league. The business lesson is simple. When a generational talent comes along who can transform the industry, you build around them. You don't dilute the moment out of fairness. The All-Star Weekend timing is marketing brilliance. This is the league's biggest stage, and Nike put all their firepower behind the one player who drives engagement. It's smart business, even if it ruffles feathers. The production quality of the campaign is cinematic. This isn't a typical low-budget WNBA promo. It's the kind of commercial you'd expect during the NBA Finals. That level of investment shows how seriously Nike is taking Clark. Their limited release strategy also reveals their understanding of Clark's market value. These aren't just sneakers, they're collectibles, treated like exclusive NBA drops. The scarcity model proves the demand is real, and while players were quietly trying to downplay Clark's achievements through All-Star votes, Nike was launching the biggest WNBA marketing campaign ever. The contrast between player pettiness and corporate clarity is striking. Wilson's frustration likely comes from realizing that no amount of on-court excellence will replicate what Clark brings to the table. Wilson has been elite for years, but she hasn't generated the cultural movement Clark now leads. That's a tough pill to swallow. The hotel AD is a stroke of genius. It's unignorable. You can scroll past a post or change the channel, but you can't miss a 30-story building plastered with Caitlin Clark's face. It's a declaration. She runs this league now. The Mamba branding positions Clark in a realm that transcends league or gender. When people see those shoes, they don't think WNBA versus NBA. They think greatness. Period. The economic implications go beyond Nike. When corporations invest this heavily in a women's athlete, it signals to the entire market that there's real value here. Clark's success opens doors whether others want to admit it or not. This wasn't a rushed campaign. The production timeline shows that Nike has been planning this for months. This wasn't a reaction, it was a calculated bet on her long-term value. That kind of corporate confidence is unprecedented in women's basketball. In contrast, the WNBA's historical marketing focus has leaned on social messaging and collective promotion. Nike flipped that script, focusing on individual excellence in basketball as entertainment. The difference is night and day. This campaign puts Clark on a global stage. She's no longer just the face of the WNBA, she's becoming the face of women's basketball worldwide. No other active player comes close. The psychological impact must be intense. Imagine being A'ja Wilson, walking through Indianapolis during All-Star Weekend, seeing that giant mural and realizing that, no matter how great your game is, you'll probably never get that treatment. Nike is proving that individual star power can elevate women's basketball commercially. They're not lifting the league equally, they're betting on a superstar, and it's working. Fan reactions prove there's a disconnect between what audiences want and what some players expect. Fans are excited about the production value, the respect shown to women's basketball, and the cultural moment. Meanwhile, Some veterans seem more concerned with equity than opportunity. This moment is bigger than basketball. Clark's rise and Nike's investment shifts public perception about the value of women's sports. She's not just winning for herself, she's creating a path for future generations. The competitive implications are clear. Players can complain, but they can't argue with results. Clark's success is raising the league's profile. Whether others like it or not, the media coverage has been overwhelmingly positive. Clark has broken through to mainstream culture. She's not just a basketball player, she's a business story, an entertainment story, a cultural figure. This is a historic turning point. For decades, the WNBA has fought for relevance. Now, one player is finally getting the attention, investment, and marketing that rivals the biggest names in sports. That some players are bitter rather than celebratory speaks to the league's internal dysfunction. Clark's Nike partnership has the potential to reshape how all women's sports are marketed. If this model succeeds, we'll see investment strategies across women's athletics change permanently. Most importantly, Clark's appeal is authentic. This isn't corporate hype, it's fan-driven, organic popularity. Nike didn't create her stardom, they just recognized it first. As Clark becomes the face of women's basketball, how she handles the pressure and responsibility will shape the future of the sport. And it's not just Nike. Other corporations are watching and lining up. Nike's decision to plant their campaign in Indianapolis wasn't random. This is Clark's heartland. It's where her fan base lives, and where women's basketball runs deep. It's a claim on the Midwest, and it's smart. This campaign's budget is massive. A full building mural, cinematic commercials, and nationwide buzz. It all signals that Nike sees Clark not as a short-term trend, but as a long-term pillar of their brand. The social media impact is already enormous. That hotel ad is perfect for viral sharing. Every post becomes free advertising. It's marketing brilliance. The retail implications are clear. Nike isn't selling shoes, they're selling status. This is luxury branding applied to basketball. Artificial scarcity creates prestige, and Clark is now a prestige brand. Finally, the demographic strategy is savvy. Clark's fans include suburban families and rural communities, audiences that have been overlooked in basketball marketing. Nike is expanding the sport's reach through her bottom line. Nike just proved who really runs women's basketball, and Aja Wilson's reaction suggests the old guard isn't handling the changing of the guard very well. But this is just the beginning of Caitlin Clark's corporate reign.